Mr. Toastmaster, my fellow board members. One time, I was younger. And when I was young, I liked to, do weird things. How many of you guys have been to a barn that's abandoned? Because nothing's abandoned anymore, everybody owns something, but who's been to a barn and just searched through it? You find some old hut, you search through it. You go down some woods, you search through it. When you're kids, you do that. Well, at one point in my younger days, I was a police officer for the city of Morgantown. And beautiful fall day, we just changed the clocks forward, or back, fall back. And getting dark early, but it was about 4 o'clock, and I get a call. Some kids are over here who think there's something wrong. Well, obviously, in a small town, that's kind of important. We need to check on that. So, in Morgantown, you're a police officer by yourself. You don't have multiple officers on the time, and you're alone. So you get a call like that. It's like, okay, well, there's no shots are fired, nobody's got a knife, nobody's out drinking. So, okay, some kids are doing something. We can go check on them. So I go to what's called Kent Manor. It's a local housing area. And I pull in there, and I start walking around. There's nobody around. That's the usual. Somebody calls the cops, don't talk to them. So I'll start making my way around, and I hear a lady, "It's over there." "What?" "It's over there." Okay, so I go into this field, and I keep walking a little farther. Okay. And I stop, and it's this little matted place, and in the middle of it, it's about this long, that big around, and it's looks like rolled up cardboard. It's a cardboard tube, old as dirt. And it's got, it's got oilish stuff on the sides of it. Okay, so I turn it over. What is this? And so I go back. What are the kids doing with it? Well, they were tossing it around. Well, why are you worried? Well, my son says, he thinks it says danger. Okay. So I go back up, turn it around, and real faded. And I have to get in the light. It says real, DANER. Okay, that's real close to danger. So I was like, all right. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to leave it around these kids in the housing project. That's going to be bad. So I take it, put it in my car, and Morgantown's small. Again, remember, you can see the courthouse from where I am. So I take it up, and as I'm driving up, I see one of my other officers who's off duty, and we sit in the parking lot. I pull in, like, "Come here. What is this?" He goes, "Dude, I don't know. I've never seen anything like that." And he looks at it. "Well, it says it's dangerous." So I'm like, yeah, so go up there, take it up to the courthouse, and I call the fire department because they should know, maybe somebody there should know. We should know something. And one of the guys looks at it. He says, "We need to talk to Charlie." I'm like, okay, where's Charlie? And in Morgantown, there are multiple Charlies, so you don't know which one they're talking about. So I was like, okay. One of the guys comes up. He's on the fire department in Bowling Green, Charlie Thomas. He comes up, he checks it, and he goes, "I think it's dynamite." Again, cardboard tube, this big around, this long, old as all get out. He goes, "Something about it reminds me of dynamite." Coal mines in the area from way back. He calls a guy, old guy. No offense to you old guys, but he's old. He comes up and says, "Well, let me check it." He takes a pocket knife out, cuts the side little hole off, pulls it out. Again, the oilish stuff. He pulls out some of it. It's like, brushing off his teeth. I'm like, what? He tasted it. It turns out it was an old style of explosives used in the coal mines. They would drill a hole about this big around, and they would dump this tube of explosives. It's dynamite, but because of the way it is and the style of it is, it wasn't made to use with a fuse or anything like that. So they packed down this hole. They did 3 or 4 of them. And it's then pushed down the detonator and then run like that. Well, they had pulled it out of a barn from the middle of town that had just been sitting there just dilapidated. Turns out there were 14 sticks of this stuff. They called down the Kentucky fire marshal, and they had to get all the sticks out, and they took it out to one of the old coal mines because they made some phone calls and got some permission on that. And then they spent the next 4.5 hours individually soaking them in kerosene and burning them manually, because that's the way you have to get rid of old dynamite, which can gel and crystallize into nitroglycerin, and that's what I ran into. So be careful what you touch or don't touch, and be sure to have people on call as part of the fire department. They want to taste your dynamite. Mr. President.
You just got to understand that is a true story. You're actually visually in the courthouse, you can see it when it's talking